Alright everybody, welcome to another Freestyle Game Dev live stream. We do these twice a week, Sunday nights and Wednesday mornings. Right now it works like an AMA Q&A. Hop in, ask questions. We're talking about Unreal Engine, blueprints, visual scripting, game development, virtual production, all kinds of stuff like that. Basically, if you have any questions or anything you want to go over, especially as it deals with Unreal Engine, that's what this is set up for. Like I said, my name's Kevin. I currently work as a senior principal tech artist at Riot Games in R&D. I get to do a lot of really cool stuff at work, but there's a lot of really cool stuff I don't get to do at work. So if there are no questions, then we spend our time working towards my own working prototype for a game that I'm making. And the whole point of that is for me to learn a whole lot about all the rest of the parts of Unreal Engine, because Unreal Engine is crazy deep. So I did not see any questions in the chat, which means that we are going to be hopping straight into the engine and get going. As always, I will go ahead and throw in, per your request, we set up a Discord server, and we'll throw those into the chat so that you all have those as a reminder. And then also as a general heads up, we are also kind of we keep the schedule up to date as best we can, just with the YouTube servers and things like that, but don't forget to check out Twitter for anything like cancelations, or sometimes we have to move to a different day or something like that. But generally speaking, we've been pretty consistent about Sunday nights and Wednesday mornings, and those are 10:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Sunday nights and 8 a.m. now Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday mornings. So let's go ahead and, like I said, let's just hop into Unreal. Now, since the last time, what we were working on last time we were in here is we were working on our environment materials. Specifically, what we were working towards, I can just show you, was making it so that the, oh goodness, I need to switch to God mode here real quick. Okay. We were specifically switching to make it so that when your camera no longer kind of butted up against walls, and as a result of that, we needed a way to be able to still see our character, which we can now do, which is great. So there's a couple things that have changed since the last time. Made some tweaks, made it a little bit smoother, but you'll notice that when I walk away from the wall, it fades out. That was one of the fun things that we did, and I'll show you how we did that. I'm also going to get rid of my enemies for right now. Move this over here. Make sure we can see the chat. As always, questions take priority. If you hop in and I'm talking, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and throw your question up, and we'll kind of go over it. Now, this is the cool part about doing the fade. So let me show you what we've got in this material. This is basically our environment material. It puts all the grids and everything on the walls. Now, part of me is wondering, in the grand scheme of things, do I need to be doing this right now? But you know, I think so, because I think the camera is an important part of gameplay. So I think it's okay to be working on this. Just again, trying to make sure we're double checking and focusing where we need to, not getting too lost in the art, because I can do that and it's a lot of fun. All right, so basically we have our material stuff, and all of the grid stuff, right? It's creating the base colors and everything like that. You can see it feeds in here. Now, what all of this stuff we did last week, this was our cutout locations, or world space positions, our dithering, etc. Nothing too crazy here. And what this does is, this basically creates a sphere mask that is in world space, and then on tick, our character will place that between itself and a wall if there is one. Now, you'll notice that I added a second cutout, and I did that because there's a bit of a distance between the camera and the character. And rather than doing one big sphere that is the radius, that is basically the radius of half the distance from the camera to the character, what can happen is as you get to the edges of the sphere, the holes will get smaller and it looks a little inconsistent. So what I've done is I've created two spheres. If the camera is here and the character's here, there's now two spheres that get placed between the camera and the character. So that's why there's a second one there. So all this is pretty straightforward. But what we didn't talk about last time was this part. You'll notice that whatever's being done down here is just feeding in straight into this multiply. And the multiply is getting fed straight into the opacity mask. Now, what this does is kind of cool. It takes the current time and it subtracts a variable called start time. So imagine you're running along and you hit the 10-second mark. Okay, and right at 10 seconds, your camera setup goes through a wall and you set the start time in your blueprint. What's going to happen is time's going to keep ticking, but start time is going to stop. If right in that instant at 10 seconds, your camera went through the wall and came back out, just as an example, you set start time. So right now at 10 seconds, your time is 10 seconds and your start time is 10 seconds. So do the math. 10 seconds minus 10 seconds is 0. 0 divided by 1 is 0. 0 saturated, which is another way of doing a quick clamp. Okay, so 0 is basically making it sure it's between 0 and 1. So 0 saturated is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. And then 1 multiplied by our mask means the mask is fully visible. And then it goes into the opacity. So now let's fast forward and let's make this easy. Time is going to go to 11 seconds. All right. Now 11 seconds minus our start time of 10, because remember we said it, 11 minus 10 is 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1. And saturated is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So at 11 seconds, this is 0. 0 multiplied by anything is 0. And so 1 minus 0 becomes 1, and so our opacity mask goes back to 1. Which basically means that our visibility now is turned off. So what you can do is you can basically figure out the math between. So we're only going to do one more of these because hopefully this is sinking in. But let's take 10.5. Let's say that we don't skip straight to 1. 10.5 minus 10 is 0.5. 0.5 divided by 1, and this is basically just deciding how long the fade out takes. 0.5 divided by 1 is still 0.5, saturated is 0.5, 1 minus that is a negative, 1 minus that is 0.5. So basically 0.5 times our sphere mask is going to be half as visible, and then it's going to be fed into our opacity mask. So that's why you see it fade out over time. So without using any ticks, we're not using any ticking, we're not using any timers, we're not using anything like that, just simply using time minus the game time, we've created an auto fade out tool. Good morning, Daryl. How you doing? Apologize for any confusion with the start times last week. I think it was last week at this point. So basically what that does is that creates this fade out that happens where so here's our cutout, this is the hole. When I look back at it, you'll see it fades out, right? And if we want to make that longer, what we can do is in our material, that's weird, material doesn't show up in our quick set. We can change our effects length to be, let's say 5 seconds. All right, and this should make it so that the division that's happening takes longer, so the fade out should be a lot longer now. So let's take a look at that. Way slower fade out, right? So basically just with a couple of like a little bit of math and using game time, we're able to change that fade out, which is cool. So basically, obviously that is way too slow. I think I don't mind seeing it, but I don't necessarily want to see it. I just want it to be reasonable. So let's see if we go 0.7. What does that feel like? Pretty good. It's not distracting as we're running, which is good. So this way, I no longer have to have my cameras bumping into the back of my character's head. And when I say that, like, I can still do it if I, for example, back up to this chair or stairs. What's happening here? So something's happening where we're not getting our stuff isn't quite hitting, but you can see the stairs aren't fading out. So we need to actually tag the stairs to be the same thing. So what we can do is we can just take these stairs and update the collision for them. Which is somewhere. Where's our collision? Is everything coming through okay, Daryl? Audio, video, all that stuff? Here's our collision. We're going to change this to custom. And we're going to ignore the camera. And we'll do the same thing. Now what we really need to do is we really need to kind of set up a preset for this, but for now, this will work. Okay. And now let's turn back around and take a look at our other end of our map. Did you have any questions that you wanted us to cover today, Daryl? Anything that you want to talk about or that you were particularly interested in learning or struggling with, etc.? Ignore the camera. And let's ignore this camera as well. Sweet. Is it something that we can try to stumble through with you? Alright, so that should make it... Oh, materials aren't going to fade though because it doesn't have the right material on it. So let's get the right material. That's going to help us a little bit. Put it on our stairs. I mean, we can give it a shot. So now the stairs fade too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, of course. I don't know if you can share a screenshot in chat. So you can send it to me at... Oh, you know what? Maybe we should throw that in Discord. Would that be better? Do you have Discord? Because if you hop on the Discord server, I believe I have... There's a questions channel. I think you can throw images there. If that doesn't work, if throwing it on the Discord server doesn't work, I can send you my email address too. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, just in case, here's the Discord server again. Okay, cool. So while Daryl throws a screenshot up, I am going to take a look at what we're going to be doing between stuff. So we got our cameras cool. They're no longer blocking. All this is working. I think we're back to gameplay. Which means we need to bring... Oh, I know what we can do. Okay, so we have a couple options of things we can work on today. Majority rules, so Daryl, it's your choice. There's one is, and I think you missed it last time. We still have an outstanding bug with our power attack combo, and basically what it is you're running. If you power attack, it basically the move. Interesting, it's working now. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Okay, so basically what happens is you can see as I power attack, the character's still sliding. So we need to basically implement all the stuff we did for the regular combo, where the character will stop and do their move. And if you move, it'll break out of it. So one is fixing the power combo. That's one thing that we could do today. The second thing we can do today is we have we have an issue with spawning. And there's actually one issue and one thing we need to implement. So the issue is, for some reason, spawned enemies do not revive, even though they're supposed to and they have the ability on them. But I don't know if that's nearly as fun as I think we need to make a spawn manager. Independent of whether or not they revive themselves or not, I think a spawn manager that keeps track of how many enemies are on the level for a particular encounter and things like that. So those are, I think, our three options. Fix the power combo, fix the UI for the power combo. I just blanked on what the other one was, and then the spawn manager. Oh, fixing the enemy's respawn. So, power combo, enemy respawn, or encounter manager. What do you feel like? Oh, and also, while you're thinking about that, I wanted to show you what I did, what I did with the environment look-through stuff. So the environment look-through stuff, if you recall, was originally in Tick for Shooter Mannequin. I moved it. What I did is I moved it to its own component that actually has its own tick and everything like that. I did that for a lot of reasons, but basically you can't join that server. Why not? Do I have to allow you in? That can't be right. We have people. You can't join that server. Server settings. Display, roles. I'm trying to figure out user management members. It doesn't say anything about I don't see anything that would prevent people from joining, but that is good to know. I know we have other members. Here, let me send you my email. I'll give you my email so you can send the picture. It's just Kevin. I live in so you can use that, and I'll bring it up in the email, and then I can throw it up on screen. We can look at it, or I can leave it off screen depending on what your preference is. So I implemented this as a component for ease of editing, for multi-editing. In other words, if somebody needs to make changes to this, they don't have to check out the whole character and stuff like that. It does mean, though, that I have to do a cast in here because I need to get the owner of the component and make sure it's a shooter mannequin and then go from there. We're going to have to do some profiling at some point. I'm not worried about it at all. It's not affecting our performance right now, just to make sure that this isn't too slow. There may be a better way. The world contains invalid active files. Okay. Did you try to migrate something? I'm wondering if you tried to migrate something. And also, when you like, did you recently upgrade from like 5 like to 5.1 or something like that? Okay, so basically the two things. Okay, so two things to try. Okay, one is make sure all the plugins that you're using or were using or whatever are actually loaded. Because if the Unreal Engine plugin isn't loaded, it won't be able to find it, so it'll think it's an invalid actor and you'll get that. The other option that you can try is, I think you can try to, I don't know if you can do this if you're not C++ based, but this little tip by Memorhun might help too. I don't know if this works if you haven't actually. Basically, you need to recompile your project. There's a button in the bottom right, I think. I don't know what this button looks like, which is because I believe I run from. Okay, so you see this button down here in the bottom right that looks like a bunch of blocks with some floating in? That's what they're talking about. So what I would do is, I would save everything, close Unreal, open Unreal. I might even make a copy of my project, and then I would click this button in the bottom right. Okay. So second question, the mannequin for a character is fine. I add a second character and did a flip-flop on a keystroke to go between the two. It works, but when I do, both lose animations. What are you doing to do your flip-flop? Like, how are you doing a flip-flop? Are you replacing your skeletal mesh? Oh, you don't have that button in your Unreal Engine? I wonder if this is because it's. I wonder if it's because I have. You have to have. It's on the map tab. Like I don't see it on any blueprint tab. It's when I have the level open. I can see this compile button. If you don't see it, it may be because I have a C++ project, and if you're blueprint only, maybe. But if you're on the level, it shows up in the bottom right. Okay, so things to try. Make sure all your plugins are loaded. Make sure, and that includes all your game features and everything, especially if you're using Lyra. Second thing would be try the recompile button that's in the bottom right. If you're on a level, it has this, this little boxy thing with the falling bits in it. And then those are the quick couple ones there. And then as far as your swapping your character stuff, it sounds like one of two things is happening. The skeletal mesh is the same as on both. It sounds like somehow maybe it doesn't realize that the two the skeletal mesh is the same. So you're just changing materials then? So the rest of the instructions, after you do your compile, you go to your content drawer and you would do this. currently loaded world, right click, asset actions reload. So basically, if you go to, for example, this level that I'm on right now is the playground. So that's the anim world. This is the playground. If you right click, I believe it is, asset actions reload right here under advanced. So you can try this one too. Okay, so now back to your skeletal mesh thing. It sounds like what's happening is you're losing your anim blueprint. I'm not sure why. One reason might be is if the anim blueprint is not set on your second skeletal mesh, then when it swaps and swaps back, it wouldn't be there. Another reason might be, for some reason, Unreal Engine doesn't think they're compatible. And so, for example, when you swap in a new skeletal mesh into a blueprint, it loses the animation blueprint by default sometimes. And in that case, there's a couple things. Double check that your anim blueprints are set in both skeletal meshes, and or in your character blueprint. And then wherever you're doing your swap, if you're doing it in blueprint, what you could do is after you do your swap, there's a draw that you can do. I believe you can just set your... I'm trying to think of where I have access to. Oh, here's what you could do. I can do it out here in open. So out here, if you have a handle to your... Here's our character mesh. On here, I believe we can set the anim. Set anim instance class, I think is the one you're looking for. Yeah, that's cool. I totally get it. But even as part of the exercise, those are the things I can think of. And then in here, you would pick your new anim blueprint. So basically, after your swap, if for some reason it's losing the animation blueprint for whatever reason, you can, the next step afterwards, just make sure you set your anim blueprint on your mesh like this. Hopefully, some of those three-ish things will help in some way. Cool. All right. I think that's everything. Cool. Did you have any vote? Did you have any preference on what we're doing though for the rest of the time? Let's check if anybody on Twitch had a vote. Nope. Okay. Well, let's compile. Yeah, let me know. I'm curious to see what ends up happening. Let's move this out of the way. All right. Okay. All right. Let's do, let's see if we can fix our, I guess, our power combo really quick, since we know how to do that. All that's going to happen is in here, we are going to stop movement. And so let's get this. That's our sword combo. And here's our power combo. Okay, so let's see here. Sword combo, power combo. Control tab to go back and forth between the two of them, because that's way faster if you're on a single monitor. So let's get this. So in here, I'm not going to do that anymore. There's our character controller. We come in just before we play montage. We're going to do these two things. So just before we play the montage, we're going to drop these guys in here. So this is going to stop our movement, and we're going to set new move input just like we do in our sword combo. So that's that. Afterwards, we do need to create a new bound event. You can see I think we kind of started to try to do that, but we didn't quite get there. This is interesting. Broadcast cooldown. I don't think we actually need to do that anymore, but we'll clean this up in a bit. We don't have our controlled pawn set, so we're gonna have to define that. It looks like controlled pawn. Here we go. So we're gonna need to set that. Where do we set that? Right here, after. That's interesting. So we're getting our anim blueprint base. Oh, we're doing that because we are, that was for the jump stuff, okay? So back here, get controlled pawn, cast a shooter mannequin, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paste in our controlled pawn. And it looks like this goes to multiple places. So let's clean this up a lot. So now we have our controlled pawn. Oh, cool. Let me check out this screenshot. The cool thing is I've been having problems with my email on this machine. Flip-flop BP. Are you okay if I show this on screen, or did you want me to keep it off to the side? Oh, this doesn't look like any proprietary stuff. This just looks like cool, fun stuff. So this is the flip-flop. This is cool. Let's see what we got here. We got, when we press the M key, we basically will use the flip-flop to set the skeletal mesh. You know, and we're setting it to what it is. So basically, this is cool. A lot of times you'll see this done with, you know, if statements and tracked booleans and stuff like that. And where does this blueprint live? I'm not sure where this blueprint lives, but basically just after this, if you're losing your anim BP, you can just drag off that mesh and set your anim instance to what it should be, and you should be good to go. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Daryl. It's going to be really awesome as we start building out. People start joining. We're going to be seeing a lot of really cool stuff, which should be fun. I have not used, I generally have not used flip-flops. There's something about the scope of them that I don't want to say I don't trust it. I trust it. It's just I don't think I have my head wrapped around how long that state is tracked for. Also, whether or not it's replicated. I'm not sure if that's... Actually, that shouldn't matter if it's replicated. Okay, so we have our character controller. we're doing that, so we're setting that, and then over here, after our gameplay, we stop the movement. Here we go, controlled pawn, gets a new event, and that's right after the play montage. So here's the play montage. This is where we were pasting in. So we're going to go like this. And then let's create an event. And custom event. Where does that event live? Custom event. That's kind of a dumb name for it, but let's do that. It lives in third person character BP, and you're not sure how it would work with the controller in the sense that you don't know how to connect the button for it, or you don't know which button you might use. Because with the controller it would just be the same thing. You would just pick like, do you want it on the Y button or the A button or the right bumper or left bumper, and it would call that exact same function. Like what you could do is, so right now you have that connected straight to your M key, but if you pulled that out of the M key and you created an event or a function called swap mesh, for example, then your M key calls swap mesh, then and then on your controller, on your gamepad, keyboard mouse bindings, you could basically create however you want to connect it, bumper, A button, B button, whatever it is, and then that same button would also call swap mesh. So you can have multiple things calling swap mesh. Create a matching event. Here we go. And then we're going to paste in here all of this stuff. And then this is going to get connected in. End combo finish is not currently connected, which is great. And then what we're going to do is that's all of that. And then the last thing that we need to get our movement back is as authority. We should have, when the event ends, we should restore the stuff. So we should do this on end ability. And it looks like we've already got it in here, which is cool. Okay, so let's compile and say, it does not like something. Bind event to input movement. I don't know how I ended up with 2 of those. So let's compile that. Oh wow, it compiled. Look at that. Save it, check it out, see if that worked. Okay, so what should happen now is just like when so right now, I just have to tell you what I'm doing because you can't really see my keyboard. I'm holding W and I left click, the character stops and swings. If I hold W, left click, let go and go again, it'll stop out of it. So it's pretty tough to see on the first one, but if I'm holding W, I'm not gonna let go. I go left click, left click, left click, left click, left click, and let go. You see how it cancels? So that's what we were doing for the power combo. Let's see if we got it right. So if holding W, right click, nope, didn't get it right. Something. Sword combo. Set ignore move input. Control. This should stop movement. I am confused now. I'm officially confused. Custom event. That's to stop the animation montage. Let's put a breakpoint here. I want to see if we're hitting this. I don't think we should be. We should not be hitting that. Whoa. Okay, hold on a second. I have an idea. I think maybe movement is canceling our ability. So tag relations. Okay. So let's take a look at this. We have melee, grenade, evade, jump, reload, drop, dash, parry. Interesting. And input type action. Oh, interesting. So an action is blocked by death or dying. Parry, melee. Dash, reload, emote. Combo, here we go. Combo blocks input. This is the problem. I believe this is the problem. So if we look at our, let's save this, our sword combo, and we take a look at our tags here. This is ability, weapon, power, attack. And our triggers are input, ability, power, combo. I believe what we need is we need to block input for this. So let's do this. Ability type action combo. So ability type action combo. Here we go. Let's duplicate this. And for combo, we're going to change this to be, rather than combo, we're going to change this to ability type power attack. Interesting. Okay, I don't like the mixed approach here. So ability, weapon, power, attack is weird. Don't like that. I'm going to convert it to be, I'm going to change the tag to be ability type action combo. So let's go, because I want to keep this stuff consistent. So ability type action combo. So we need ability type action combo, and I don't see a power combo. So let's do ability type action. And this is going to be power combo. And then we can get rid of power attack. Hopefully this doesn't break us. And then I think we're probably not going to be able to power attack here in a second, but that's okay. So then here we go with our combo. We're going to change this to power combo. So power combo is going to block input. Let's save that. My guess is we are no longer going to be able to power attack. We can't, because remember, we're using the enhanced input. So for keyboard mouse, for melee, we are triggering with the power attack on right mouse button. And that's using the input action for that. The input action for that is triggering on pressed, which is cool. And then, hold on, I just lost it. Combo attack. So the input action for the combo attack . That's the power attack. Where's the combo? Input action, combo attack is just pressed. That's it. And it consumes the input. So the power attack is digital press consumes the input. What am I missing? Right mouse button. No modifiers. Power tag. Okay, I'm not seeing why this doesn't work. Combo, power combo. Oh wait, granted gameplay abilities, that's why. So here's the problem when we change, I think this is the problem. When we changed our ability type action power combo, I do not believe our character has that as a granted ability. So for example, oh, it did not like that. You're gonna crash? No. Oh, it doesn't. I hate that when that happens. My Unreal gets in this weird mode where I can no longer search on tags. So let's do this a different way. Data assets, ability. Let's look for ability set. Okay, so the ability set, shooter sword. This gets input tag ability combo, input tag ability power combo. Wait a minute, they're the same. What's happening here? Oh, that shouldn't matter. That's just what that gets tagged with when it's running. Input tag ability combo. Input tag ability power combo. What in the world? Hold on a second. It's not triggering. It's clearly not triggering. Left click triggers just fine. What the world? Input tag ability power combo. Tag relationship. You know what? I'm gonna remove this for right now until we solve. Let's keep one thing at a time. I thought this was going to be pretty fast. Okay. There is something going on here. Power. Input action power attack is on right mouse button. Player mappable. It has no triggers. The combo is on left mouse button. It also has no trigger. That is wild. Okay. And if we look at the default, this is move, jump, crouch, auto fire weapons. Default gamepad, melee keyboard mouse, melee gamepad. Wait, did I mess up? Was I looking at the melee gamepad? Oh, wait a minute. Melee power attack is on right mouse. No, this should all be here. Okay, I'm officially confused. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Whew. Ghost in the Machine stuff. Alright, I believe we just need to disconnect this. I think. I do not believe we need this, so we're gonna try deleting this. I think this might be overriding the key, the enhanced input. Nope. That still didn't do it. Let's bring that back. Let's try activating abilities. Input type action, power combo. Let's get rid of power attack. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. All right, compile that, play that. Okay, I don't understand that. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that one needs an input action. Okay, so here we go. Right click. Oh, we need to bring back our blocking. Oh. So, combo. We're going to duplicate this again. We're going to change this tag. And it's going to be our power combo. And then we'll save that. And then we'll go. Alright, so I'm running. I right click. Nope, that does not block our input. What in the world? Our ability type action power combo should block input. And our power attack is ability type action power combo. Maybe it just is weird and it doesn't like duplicating. So let's add a new one. This ability type action power combo, and we're going to block input. Okay. Nope, it's not blocking it. What is going on? Sword works. Okay, here's a question though. Is sword working because we're blocking input, or is sword working because of what's happening in the blueprint? I have a crazy question. So if we come back here and we take the combo, let's just delete the combo for a second. Does sword still block? It does. It has nothing to do with the relationships. Interesting. Hold on a second. 2, 1, 2, 3. And I can break out of it. I guess that is not what we need. So let's delete the power combo out of here too. What was interesting was if I swipe, we still have all of our evades. Oh, interesting. It thinks it's a front dash. Okay, cool. So that's working. So then there's got to be something wrong in our blueprint. Basically, we're coming in here, we're committing the ability, we're setting our character controller. We're determining our combo phase, and we're stopping movement. Whereas in our sword, we're setting our controller, committing our ability. We are checking ground distance. We're determining. Oh, we didn't do this. We're missing this. Commit velocity. What is this for? Find references. I don't know what that's all about. Damage scale level is determined by the combo phase. Movement reset needed. I believe we do want to do this. So we're going to do that right before we determine the combo phase, apparently. And that is coming off of shooter mannequin. And the shooter mannequin should be this guy. So combo reset is needed. I guess we don't really need to do this. We can just do that. Okay, so our movement reset is needed. That was definitely missing. Let's see what else might be missing. Oh, there it was. That was all it was. Okay, cool. We're good. So now, man, message update status. Your session has expired. What session is? Oh, my performance. Holy goodness, so many things going on. Okay. Here we go. So running, left click, it stops. If I left click again, if I WASD again, it'll continue. If I'm running and I power attack, it stops, but if I go again, it still works. So let's look for that to reset. Running, power attack, break out of it. Running, power attack. Oh, it's still cool out. Power attack, break. Wait a second. Did that break out of that? Power attack. I don't know if that broke out of that. Running, power attack. Yeah, I think it did. Running, power attack. Power attack. Yeah, it does break out of it. Okay, cool. It's working. So we're good to go. Now, all we need to do is figure out why we have 2 cooldown visuals. I don't understand why there's 2 of them. So we have to figure that out. And that is going to be a little bit of scavenger hunt, because I have not looked at the HUD in a while. So let's see if it's called HUD. Oh wait, there might be an easy way to find this. Because this thing broadcasts a message to the cooldown. And this ability has a widget class associated with it, which is our power cooldown. And what I want to do is I want to see where this is being used. Reference view. Oh, it's being used by the parry as well. So if we so basically in our reference viewer, we can see this is being used by the parry. If we remove that from parry, do we automatically get rid of our double setup? Let's do that. So widget class. Yeah, these should not be here. Compile, save that. Now let's go. Wouldn't that be a cool fast fit? Power attack. Look at that. Something went smoothly. Okay, so we have our power combo. We have our left combo. All that stuff is working now. And we still have our parry. And there's no... It's interesting that we can walk around with parry, but that's because we're squatting. We're going to change the parry animation, which is fine. But we don't need a cooldown on it because we have this. More UI widget stuff? Sure, we can do more UI stuff. What kinds of things do you want to do? Did you check out the whatchamacallit? The environment drop tool tutorial that I did? One of the videos? That had a bunch of widget stuff in it too. I believe here, I'll get you the link to it. This one has some UI stuff in it. Okay, so we can save all this stuff. We don't need this. Oh, very cool. Okay. Yeah, that one. That one has more specific UI in it. We are going to be getting, like, see, we just finished what did we just finish? We just finished for loops. So usually there's a couple more videos before I start on the UI stuff. And we'll do a couple of, UMG things and some basics in UI, just to help people figure that out. There's a bunch of complicated stuff in the new UI setups, but that should still be cool. So we got rid of those widgets. That's great. So now I think, well, actually what we should do at this point is we should be able to start on our encounter spawner. We're not actually going to be able to get to that today because unfortunately we've run out of time and I have to roll to the day job. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap up. We got through a couple things today live, which is cool. It's always great when the whole live thing doesn't just completely dissolve. But we were able to fix a bunch of, a few things, our power combos. And I kind of caught you guys up to speed on our environmental stuff. In general, I think for the next round, again, as always, questions take priority. If you have questions, go ahead and throw those down in the comments below or just hop in the next live stream. The next live stream is going to be Sunday night at 10:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll go ahead and get that on the schedule, just so that you all can see that and prep for it. Again, my name's Kevin. The whole point of this is for you all to be able to have a place to come, ask questions, start to build out a community of people who can help each other out. So, Daryl, thanks for hopping in. Everybody on Twitch, thanks for hopping in. Keep the questions coming. If you can't make the stream, no worries. Go ahead and feel free to drop a question in the comments down below. And I will be looking into which videos we are going to be dropping next as part of our crash course, Blueprints crash course. So if you have ideas, topics that you'd like us to cover, feel free to drop those in the comments in any of the previous categories, or again, you can join the Discord and throw options and suggestions there as well. Don't forget, we try to keep the schedule posted in YouTube, but if there are changes, we will also post those to Twitter as well. So I hope you all have a great rest of your week, a good weekend. It is, if you're in the US, Memorial Day weekend, so have a great holiday weekend, and I will catch you all on the next stream. Take it easy.